Imagine opening your eyes on a morning in Taiwan, a lush, bustling island at the very epicenter of the world's most dangerous geopolitical rivalry. Here, the line between peace and peril is razor thin. Every sunrise brings not just the hum of daily life, but the ever-present drone of military activity and the flicker of digital screens bracing for the next cyber onslaught. Taiwan, a beacon of democracy and a global technology juggernaut, now stands on the front line of history, preparing for its most extensive and ambitious war games to date. The question gripping the world: are these massive drills merely a spectacle, or are they Taiwan's final urgent warning to Beijing? In the age where wars are waged as much on keyboards as on battlefields, how will technology and the indomitable will of the people decide the island's fate if the unimaginable occurs? For a full 10 days, more than 22,000 reservists, men and women from every walk of life, will join thousands of active-duty soldiers in the Han Kuang exercises, an annual event that this year breaks all records in scale, complexity, and urgency. This is no routine display. The Han Kuang drills are a direct, calculated answer to China's mounting military maneuvers, relentless cyber campaigns, and tightening diplomatic noose. For those unfamiliar, these exercises do not just rehearse a defense against a conventional invasion. They also simulate a full blockade, the collapse of digital infrastructure, waves of misinformation, and attacks on power grids and supply lines. The stakes for Taiwan, and for the world, have never been higher. This year's Han Kuang drills are engineered to push every facet of Taiwan's defense to its limits. Imagine fighter jets roaring down closed-off highways, taking off from makeshift runways in a bold demonstration of flexibility should airbases fall. Urban resilience exercises will train not just soldiers, but shopkeepers, office workers, and students, teaching them everything from emergency medical care to the logistics of rationing water and food under siege conditions. For the first time, the drills will integrate large-scale civil-military cooperation, especially in the digital domain. Thousands of ordinary citizens are being drafted into digital resilience teams, learning how to keep the internet, mobile networks, and emergency communications alive, even if the power grid is crippled or bombs fall on critical infrastructure. To understand the gravity of the threat, let's step back. Over the past 5 years, China's military spending has surged to levels that rival even the United States in certain sectors. Chinese warships and fighter jets now encircle Taiwan in unprecedented numbers, carrying out live-fire exercises and practicing amphibious landings alarmingly close to Taiwanese shores. Analysis of satellite imagery reveals a proliferation of missile silos, radar installations, and logistics hubs sprouting along China's southeastern mainland, all within easy striking distance of the island. But the threat is as much digital as physical. According to leading cybersecurity firms, Taiwan is now among the most targeted countries on Earth for cyber intrusions. In just the past year, government agencies and private sector giants have weathered tens of thousands of hacking attempts, many directly traceable to state-backed Chinese groups. Disinformation campaigns, some subtle and others brazen, are designed to muddy truth, fracture public trust, and foment division, tactics straight from the modern hybrid warfare playbook. Dr. Michael Tsai, former defense minister and a voice of caution, offers a sobering perspective. These extended live-fire drills underscore a harsh reality. If conflict erupts, it will likely be a long, grinding affair that tests every aspect of our society and not a rapid, decisive blow. Admiral Li Shiming, architect of Taiwan's new defense doctrine, insists that victory will not come by matching China ship for ship or jet for jet. We must embrace asymmetric warfare, deploying sea mines, mobile anti-ship missiles, and flexible, unpredictable tactics. Outnumbered as we are, brains and adaptability are our greatest assets. Bonnie Glazer, a prominent Asian security analyst, adds, Taiwan's only chance lies in weaving together cutting-edge technology and the unwavering spirit of its people. It's this fusion that might just deter a much larger adversary. That's why this year's Han Kuang exercises are not just about tanks and dogfights. They include war games on how to keep semiconductor fabs operating if supply lines are cut, how to protect the power grid from sabotage, and how to ensure that life-saving medical and food supplies reach civilians if ports or airports are blockaded. The scenario is daunting. The very backbone of the digital age hangs in the balance. Civil-military cooperation is a major, transformative theme. For the first time, city governments, public utilities, and private tech firms are deeply embedded in the drills. In Taipei, teams are practicing how to restore electricity and internet access after a coordinated cyber attack. In the southern port city of Kaohsiung, the Navy and port authorities are jointly rehearsing emergency responses to a sudden naval blockade. Even ordinary citizens have joined in, volunteering for first aid squads, learning to purify water, and participating in workshops on how to spot and resist disinformation campaigns during crises. This approach draws heavily on lessons from Ukraine, where civilian resilience and improvisation have been crucial in blunting Russian advances. Taiwan carefully studies these examples, adapting them to its own densely populated cities and unique geography. Now, urban self-sufficiency, digital defense, and rapid adaptation are pillars of Taiwan's strategy. Should a blockade or outright invasion materialize, will Taiwan's layered strategies and digital defenses be enough? Or are these unprecedented drills merely delaying an inevitable confrontation? The answer could redraw the map of Asia, fracture the global technology supply chain, unsettle global financial markets, and set a precedent for the future of democracy itself. Let's walk through a few plausible scenarios for the years ahead. On the one hand, Taiwan's tireless preparations could forge a credible deterrent. By signaling both military resolve and digital resilience, Taiwan conveys to Beijing that any attempted takeover would exact a staggering cost. As Dr. Michael Tsai cautions, these exhaustive drills are a message. Any conflict will be long, costly, and far from assured. Yet, the risks are formidable. China's ongoing buildup of military capacity, combined with sophisticated information warfare and economic pressure, could gradually wear down Taiwan's resolve or trigger catastrophic miscalculations. History offers sobering lessons. A single misfire, an accidental naval collision, or a misunderstood signal could ignite conflict. Consider the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand that plunged Europe into the First World War, or the Gulf of Tonkin incident that escalated the Vietnam conflict. More recently, years of simmering tension exploded into war in Ukraine in a matter of days. Some defense experts warn that even the most advanced technology and training cannot guarantee success. Admiral Li Shiming is emphatic. If we want a fighting chance, we must focus on mobile, asymmetric capabilities, sea mines, missile corvettes, mobile anti-air systems. Relying on static, fixed defenses will not suffice. Cybersecurity looms as an unpredictable wild card. Taiwan's critical infrastructure, electricity plants, water treatment facilities, hospitals, and transport networks are all potential targets for sophisticated cyber attacks. Imagine a scenario where, on the eve of conflict, major cities plunge into darkness, communication systems falter, and panic spreads. That's why this year's Han Kuang drills place unprecedented emphasis on digital resilience, with specialized teams rehearsing how to rapidly restore networks, maintain public information channels, and support emergency services under fire. Yet within these dangers lies a lesson for democracies everywhere. Taiwan's focus on urban resilience and civilian digital defense could become a template for societies confronting 21st century threats, whether from hostile states, terrorist groups, or even climate-driven disasters. Other nations are already studying Taiwan's integrated approach as a blueprint for their own security. It's not just theory. Japan and South Korea, both facing their own regional security challenges, are in ongoing discussions with Taiwanese officials. NATO member states routinely exchange best practices with Taipei on cyber defense and crisis logistics. Even Australia and several Southeast Asian nations see Taiwan as a living laboratory for resilient strategies. What practical lessons can viewers draw from Taiwan's preparations? First, resilience has outgrown its old definition. It is no longer just about soldiers and weaponry. It is about societies capable of adapting, recovering, and continuing to function under extreme stress, whether from war, disaster, or disruptive technology. Every household, business, and community has a role to play. Ask yourself, do you have contingency plans for your digital life? Can you communicate with loved ones if the internet collapses? Are you able to sift fact from fiction during a crisis? In Taiwan, families are encouraged to maintain emergency kits packed with food, water, first aid supplies, and backup power banks. Schools teach students to spot and debunk misinformation. Neighborhood committees run frequent drills for power outages and earthquake response. These small routines, though simple, can save lives and keep society operating in a crisis. Second, Taiwan's experience underscores the crucial role of alliances and international networks. No country today can face complex, hybrid threats alone. Taiwan is building robust partnerships with friendly nations, diversifying its sources of food and energy, and investing heavily in both people and technology. The same principle applies to businesses and communities worldwide. Nurture strong networks, avoid over-reliance on single suppliers, and invest in both human skills and technological innovation. Consider this: the fate of Taiwan is tightly bound to global prosperity. If Taiwan were to fall, the consequences would be monumental. The global semiconductor shortage of 2021, sparked by only a brief pandemic-related lockdown, gave us a glimpse of what's at stake. Auto plants in the United States and Germany stalled, smartphone launches delayed, prices for consumer electronics soared. Imagine now a prolonged disruption caused by war or blockade. The resulting economic aftershocks would dwarf anything seen in recent decades. Yet Taiwan's true resilience is not just technological or military, it is human. The determination and creativity of its people are legendary. Take the story of Lin Meihua, a high school teacher by day and a digital resilience trainer by night, teaching her neighbors how to spot fake news and keep vital information flowing in emergencies. Or Chen Wei, an electrical engineer who volunteers to set up emergency communication networks in rural villages. Or Dr. Li, who leads mobile medical teams to the highlands, ensuring that even the most remote communities have access to care during a crisis. These stories echo through Taiwan's past, from the days of martial law, when underground networks sustained hope, to the devastating earthquake of 2020, when rapid civilian response saved thousands of lives. As the Han Kuang exercises reach new heights of complexity and ambition, the world is watching, with anxiety but also admiration. The future is anything but certain. A negotiated settlement with Beijing appears remote, given current political realities. Instead, Taiwan is focusing on buying time through risk mitigation, supply chain diversification, investment in energy security, and deepening international cooperation. So, will Taiwan's sweeping preparations and digital resilience tactics be enough? The truth is, they buy invaluable time. They raise the cost of aggression, create breathing room for diplomacy and innovation, and perhaps, just maybe, preserve a fragile peace. As history reminds us, no deterrence is foolproof. Yet Taiwan's greatest strength may not lie in any missile battery or encrypted network, but in the unity, adaptability, and courage of its people, a force that no army, no matter how large, can easily subdue. As you read the headlines and consider the risks, ask yourself, how resilient are you, your community, and your country? In a world defined by uncertainty, preparation is power. If you found these insights valuable, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What lessons from Taiwan's experience could transform your own community? How would you prepare for disruption, be it geopolitical tension, economic shock, or natural disaster?